Welcome to India's number one and largest IITM student community with 70,000 students on board. Before we begin, we are excited to announce that we have officially launched our IIT Madras BS Qualifier crash course. If you are serious about cracking the qualifier, this intense program is designed to help you master concepts, improve problem solving skills, and boost your confidence in a short span of time. You can find all the details along with the contact number in the pinned comment below. In today's session, we will be solving some of the questions of Week 4 Computational Thinking Graded assignment of the IIT Madras BS in Data Science program with a detailed step-by-step explanation. If you're looking for additional guidance, one-to-one live class mentorship, 24/7 doubt support, strategy session, and structured preparation, including previous year paper solving in live classes, you can join India's number one qualifier coaching through the link provided in the pinned comment below. Our coaching program has consistently achieved 90 to 100% selection rates with top-notch faculty of minimum 10 years of industry experience. Our team holds 13 US patents in AI, ML, and IoT, and we also serve as guest lecturers at IIT, teaching advanced topics like LLM, RAG, and AI agents. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get started and solve these assignments step by step. Now, let's solve the first question of the computational thinking graded assignment of week 4. So, read the first question here. The following pseudocode is executed using the words dataset. What will A represent at the end of the execution? A is equal to 0. The variable A is initialized to 0 while table 1 has more rows. While the table 1 has more rows, we have to read the first row X in the table 1. So when the table has having more rows, we have to read the first row in this table 1. Okay, so we have to read the first row in the table 1, then I is equal to 1 and B is equal to false. So before starting a while loop, we are initializing another two variables, I is equal to 1 and B is equal to false. So whenever I is less than or equal to x dot letter count, x dot letter count means the letter count of the row we have word row we have taken. Okay, the letter count of the word row we have taken. So while I is less than or equal to x dot letter count, if the value of I is less than or equal to the letter count of that word in the row, then you have to check if ith letter of x dot word is followed by a vowel. You have to see that ith letter. Suppose first we're having I is equal to 1, right? Then ith letter means first letter of that x dot word means the word in the first row of the table. First we have to take the first row, right? So the word in the first row of the table. So if the first letter in the word is followed by a vowel, then you have to take B is equal to true. Okay, see here, while I is less than or equal to x dot letter count, if ith letter of x is followed by a vowel, then B is equal to true. Okay, then I is equal to I plus 1, I is equal to I plus 1. The after doing this if part, you are incrementing I. Okay, you are incrementing I and the while loop is also closed. So after the while loop, if B is true, then A is equal to A plus 1. So this if condition is also closed, then you have to move to the table 2. Okay, then after moving to the table 2, you have to again implement from this while loop. While table 1 has more rows, you have to again implement from this while loop. Okay, so see here, first initially B is false, right? Now the algorithm checks every letter. see, the condition is, first let's take this word book. Okay, let's take this word book first. See here, at first I is equal to 1, right? See, let's take the word book. Let's take the word book here. So initially the letter count of this word book is 4. The letter count of this word is 4, right? So first we are asked to check what, if I is less than or equal to x dot letter count. See here, I is less than or equal to x dot letter count. So first I'm having I as 1, right? So 1 is less than or equal to 4. So this while condition is true, right? Then I have to move on to this if condition. If ith letter of the x dot word is followed by a vowel. Ith letter means first letter, right? So we have to check if first letter is followed by a vowel. Yes, it is followed by a vowel. So if it is followed by a vowel, then you have to set b is equal to true. Okay, first I have compared the I and the letter count, and it is less. So this while condition is becoming true. So I'm executing the conditions inside the while condition. If ith letter of the x dot word is followed by a vowel, if the first letter in this condition I is equal to 1, right? So if the first letter is followed by a vowel, then b will become true. So I am taking b is equal to true here. Okay, then I have to increment I is equal to I plus 1. In this case, I is equal to 1 plus 1, right? Therefore, I will become 2. Okay, now again I have to compare these two. 2 is less than or equal to 4. Okay, 2 is less than or equal to 4. Remember, our B is true here, right? So see here, if 2 is less than or equal to 4, then again see here, you will have second letter. So second letter is also followed by a vowel. So you will get the true condition. Already the b is set to true, so it will not be counted again. Okay, already the b is set to true, so this will not happen. Only if it is changed from false to true, then only the count will increase. Here it is already true, so you can skip this one. Okay, so see here, so at the end, the a is equal to a plus 1 will count the number of words having at least one letter followed by a vowel. Okay, at least one letter. See here, we incremented only for this o and we didn't increment for this o, right? See, we only increment in this book word, we incremented only for this o, for the first vowel, and not for the second vowel, right? But it does not mean that we should not have a second vowel. We can have that, but just that we are not taking it under count. Okay, so see here, so the A represents the number of words having at least one letter followed by a vowel. We don't need the exact count that a word is having how many vowels. We don't need that exact count. We only want whether the word is having at least one letter followed by a vowel. So that's what we need. So that is A is representing. A is representing the number of words having at least one letter followed by a vowel. Similarly, I can give you another explanation. See, S, K, Y, right? So see here, first I will have I is equal to 1. Here the letter count is equal to 3. So I is less than or equal to 3 means I have to compare the first letters next word. It is not a vowel. So B is equal to false and A will not be incremented. Okay. Again, now my I will become, after this B is equal to false, my I will become I plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Again I will be having 2 is less than or equal to 3. Then I have to I have to check the second position. So second position is also not followed by a vowel. So again B is equal to false and I is equal to 2 plus 1, which is 3. And since B is false, A is not equal to A plus 1. A is not incremented. Okay, now I is equal to 3, which means 3 is less than or equal to 3. This condition is again true. Then I have to check if the third letter is followed by a vowel. No, the third letter is the end one. It is not followed by any alphabet. Not even an alphabet is present there. So again B is equal to false. Since we don't have any more letter, we cannot do the comparison again. And since B is equal to false, again A is not equal to A plus 1. So here we are not in this, for this word sky, we are not even having any vowel. So A will remain as 0. We have not incremented A in any of these three iterations. So A remains 0. There is no increment. So A will be incremented only when you have at least one vowel in the word. Otherwise, it will not be incremented. So A is the number of words having at least one letter followed by a vowel. So when we match with the options, option D suits our description better. So option D is the right answer. Okay. So that brings us to the end of today's discussion. We'll be covering the remaining week 4 computational thinking graded assignments questions very soon. So stay tuned. The complete playlist will be available through the pinned comment as new videos are released. If you are finding the concept easy to understand but facing difficulty solving graded assignment and qualifier problems on your own, you can join our IITM Madras BS Qualifier crash course and come and get access to complete coaching program which is designed to help you bridge the gap with live classes, guided practice and one-to-one mentoring and 24/7 down support. To join, simply call the number provided in the pinned comment below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing and all the very best for your IIT Madras BS journey.